to come on stage. Sumant, if you're there, could you please unmute yourself and turn on your video? And next we'll go to Daksh. I guess Daksh is already here. Yes, I can see him. Sumant, could you please turn on your camera?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Arijit. Thank you. Arijit and Marco.
I will just introduce you. Sumant is actually from India, and welcome to World Leader Summit. Sumant, please, the stage is yours. We are running approximately 5 minutes time gap, but I'm sure that we are gonna, adjust that in due course of time. Don't worry about time. The stage is yours. Please feel free to speak and enlighten us with your knowledge and wisdom.
Thank you, Arijit, and thank you, Marco, for organizing such a wonderful summit. I'm really glad that I got a slot in speaking here and to bring my thought across the AI and other emerging technologies on this learned forum. And this is the global forum. That is one of the best thing you are trying to achieve. I'm integrating the leaders, the next generation leaders, on a world leadership forum. So I'll just straight away go and ask a question to the audiences, whoever hearing, or maybe later on. So how many of you think that AI could have prevented a pandemic like COVID-19? So I personally believe that had we implemented the advanced artificial intelligence system, then certainly this kind of scenario could have not been seen, because I have a belief that AI, artificial intelligence, has tremendous potential, and we are still scratching the surface of AI, and there was a system, the organization, a startup organization named as Blue Dot. So they are the Canadian startup tech startups. They develop a AI intelligence-based system, and they in fact they claim that they first time detected some kind of contagious disease, not COVID, and they alerted the WHO also. But I think that was some kind of pilot project. Though after COVID breakout, they expanded their team, they expanded their product portfolio, but still it can be said in the pilot stage. And from my analyst perspective, I would like to say that these are the gap areas where the market forces need to come in and fill in, public health sphere, even in the personal health sphere also. So as an analyst, I remain analyzing the new innovations in AI and robotics space. And definitely, if you ask me, these are the gap areas. The public health has to be a neglected one. But one thing this COVID has done, that it has delivered confidence in technology. Now almost all people believe that technology is a way forward. Technology is the future, and particularly the digital tech enabled with emerging technology like AI and blockchain and IoT. So if I have to again talk on how we can use the emerging technology like artificial intelligence to safeguard the public health, I would like to say that the world needs to evolve an AI-based epidemic intelligence and management system, that is EIMS we call it. So in some form, as I said, one couple of startups are doing in pockets, but these pockets need to be integrated at the world level. Now what happened that in UK, one project got started recently after the COVID breakout, that is known as Participatory One Health Disease Detection, PODD. So it's a pilot project on surveillance and control of zoonotic diseases. That is the diseases which are spread from animals that could possibly infect humans and causes the economic losses. So this project recently got funded to the tune of $8 million by Trinity Challenge, and then Trinity Challenge and other custodians of a couple of leading enterprises, again targeted for evolving solutions, next generation solution for dedicated for preventing the pandemics. So AI is now coming in full force in the future pandemic prevention, and even the intelligence generation, that hey, look at this area, the certain virus has jumped from animal to the human being and is likely to spread. So at least that kind of intelligence system also going to help the masses and the people and the government as a whole. So that is the future aspects, but now last 1.5 year, lot of data got generated in our medical establishment, our medical setup, be it hospitals, be it the diagnostic centers, be it the CT scan centers. So do we have do our governments or enterprises are doing something on those data, those X-ray scans, chest CT scans? So I think there are some, these are again happening in pockets. So I think there is a need to use harvest augmented analytics and AI to consolidate these data also, to integrate these, because these are the data which possesses a lot of knowledges, a lot of insights which can be used for preventing any future pandemic occurrence. And even if something happened, that at least you know the insights how these need to be tackled. So I would like to mention here one example of one of the latest NHS project, the NHS UK, Great Britain. They have the NHS X. So they are set up the AI lab which is supporting the testing and evaluation and a scale of promising AI-driven technology through the 140 million pounds budget. So they have launched a project called National AI Medical Imaging Platform, NMIP. So this platform aims to provide large-scale data collection on a national scale, meaning AI developers have access to the kind of high quality data needed to train AI models and AI products. The platform would include larger volumes and types of medical imaging for use in testing and developing AI technology. Another setup the NHS has done is called the National COVID-19 Chest Imaging Database, NCCID. So as I mentioned, the lot of X-rays and scans, they're scattered here and there in hospitals and health centers. So they are trying to integrate these old data sources, and not only from UK but from the other country also. So the country like India, they need to also leverage these kind of information available in their various health centers and hospitals and build up the next generation insights and knowledge on these available unstructured data. So in India, had the one advantage that number of COVID patients here are very large, so they have more data available here and they have the more insights available here, so India need to lead these aspects also. So coming to the medical side, we all saw how the availability of medical resources, even oxygen, became constrained during the COVID period. But through AI, the targeted and personalized medical care need to be provided even through the virtual medium. So that's happening. India. If you look the India, the e-consultation, has progressed well. Even government launched certain of their platform for e-consultation, and they claim that the many people from remotest past of India use that platform to consult some of the known doctors, government doctors, even the private doctors across the various cities of India. But what's happening, these are still dependent on the physical resources of doctor. We need to deploy AI to replicate the doctor's intelligence and to deliver the personalized and targeted medical advices to the masses of the people through remote consultation or through remote access, using the telemedicine. So that is the area when as a country and the world need to work, that how to capture or train the models, the AI models, from the combined knowledge of various medical professionals, and to make those models available to the millions and millions of people, so that they never get denied with any medical advices when they are under need, and these medical advices get delivered wherever they are sitting and wherever they want it, right? So the medical the healthcare need to be decoupled from the physical side and from the some personal manpower availability. It need to be decoupled, and that happens only through the technology. be it the telecommunication, ICT technology, internet and communication technology, be it the AI technology and IoT. These all technology are converging for providing the next generation e-healthcare solutions. Now, one factor I like to mention when we are talking about healthcare, it's not only about the patients. So the virtualization and robotization of healthcare delivery need to be done for the safeguarding the healthcare professionals also. If you see during the last lockdowns, the previous lockdowns due to COVID, it was estimated that around 120 billion US dollar both medical value creation got lost, that practitioners, because their clinic were closed, they were shut off, so they did not earn anything. So if you combine these all revenue losses of medical practitioners, around 120 billion gone in last 1 year. So I believe with better AI and telemedicine technologies, even 40 to 50% of such losses could be avoided in a similar circumstances. Now, another aspects, the doctors should not believe that AI is their competition. Rather, they should accommodate AI as their peer, or sometimes as most productive friend. Because I was talking to in one of the conference in India, which was totally focused on AI deployment in medical field. I just said that a doctor is limited by their own physical constraints and bandwidth. But if a doctor trains an AI model, right, so they can create even 5 to 10 similar kind of doctors, and they can deploy at least for the basic investigation or basic patients, kind of diagnosis. So it's an income multiplier. A doctor which was earlier constrained with their physical limitation of availability and time ability, and they used to see, say, 20 to 30 patients per day. With the AI tools and AI assistant, they can actually scale their entire their earning potential and up to 4 to 5 times, because they can handle more patients, because they deploy their robotics avatar, where they can diagnose many more patients. At least at the initial level they can do, because not all diagnoses happen in one day. There need to be some basic diagnosis, some basic consultations, so that can be automated. So I think it's not for only doctors, for other professionals also. They need to treat AI as a friend, and not as their job eaters. So I predicted emergence of Robo entrepreneurs. So Robo entrepreneurs are going forward a great business model. So I'll explain quickly what this Robo entrepreneurs mean. So I was just watching the previous session, and somebody puts a question here in the chat box. So can we have 7-day weekend? So yeah, I know this today is luxury, but going forward with the Robo entrepreneurs, it may be possible that as I imply, you need to deploy your robots, which you train with your skill sets, your knowledge, your experience, and then you become an entrepreneur in terms of deploying your robot and AI models in the work environment. So if I am a IT professionals, I know certain skills I have, I can train to my AI avatar or AI model, and I can produce such like 50-60 such models and deploy in one employer or multiple employer. So this how then what will happen? The employee will not earn through their own physical labor, but rather they earn through their the knowledge model or AI model which they have created. So so physical work, as I said earlier, the founder of Tesla also said earlier that when they were launching the Tesla Robotics, Elon Musk said that physical work will become an option in future. If you want to work physically, then fine. Otherwise, you can transform your work, your knowledge, your expertise to the AI and robots. So that's the future. So it's possible to have a 7-day weekend. Once you have trained your robots, they can take care of the work, provided you have to you have to be alert on in giving some training and supervision to such AI models. Now, I come towards the AI and robotics, how it is going to impact leadership. That is very important. In 21st century, I believe, particularly in post-COVID world, those who lead in AI technology race are going to be true leader. Traditionally, leaderships was evolved around positions and PR. So if I in India, if I win an election, I hold some position of like MP and MLA, then people see me as a leader. That is fair enough. I have the equity from the people, and then I become leader. But going forward, simply holding a position won't be reflecting my leadership capability. I need to bring some value from technology. I need to derive some value for people welfare using the AI technology. See, today, the China is giving challenge to the many countries, those who are believed to be global leaders, only by using a higher scale of technology, and particularly they are using the AI and robotics in mission mode. So if we have to safeguard us from the Chinese expansion, then of course we have to push our robotics and AI technology capability also. It can't be the business as usual. So the leadership is those what I'll say that traditionally the leadership was evolved around position and PR, but future leadership shall be evolving around AI-led innovations and people and institutions who knows about deriving and delivering value from AI technology-led innovations. So they are going to be most sought leaders in the world, and to become torchbearers of new age innovation-led leadership. So that's the new identity. And if I just briefly discuss how why AI is now important. Now recently the US intelligence officials warns about the federal government of United States of America on the 5 key technology sector which will determine whether China overtakes US or not. So these key tech sectors are AI, artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence comes first in the priority list on this intelligence inputs submitted to government of USA, but their own intelligence wing. These are artificial intelligence, quantum computing, biotechnology, semiconductors, and autonomous system. I think all these 5s are interconnected. AI system can't be flourished without good computing in place. The quantum computing is the future of the computing, and the semiconductor crisis we all are facing. So today the world has not moved out of silicon. I mean, though I predicted emergence of non-silicon based computing, that is air computing. Going forward, we need to transition our computing environment from the material based, that is silicon based, which is constraining because the Moore's law is no longer valid, so you can't multiply the chip density to speed up your computing, but your AI need faster and faster computing. The AI apps are becoming resource hungry as far as the computing is concerned. So world is looking towards the alternate mode of computing, and one alternate mode of computing is quantum computing. So we will not go in detail of the computing and biotechnology and semiconductor and autonomous system, but these, what I mind to say, these all are interrelated. So as the intelligence agency has alerted US to make competitiveness in these 5 sectors, so I think it is applicable for all countries, including India, to emerge leader in these 5 sectors. So if you see further the impacts of AI in business continuity, so we observed during last lockdowns, in last 1.5 years, so how severely the business continuity got impacted. So but still we believe that 70% of particularly Indian GDP. I personally analyze this space how because I am based out of India. So I am mostly impacted in India, and I analyze that 70% of Indian GDP, which we lost during the last lockdowns and the COVID-related restriction, could have been saved by deploying higher technology, including artificial intelligence and robotic automation. So factories under Industry 5.0 to be run by robots and can be remotely controlled also. These are the new concepts which we are bringing, how we can run our factory by using the emerging industry 5.0 framework, so that one need not to go even to the factory site for running some processes. It can be done either through robots or can be done through remote control basis, so that if future some disruption happens, then I need not to be physically present over there. Okay, so then 3D printings and all those things will come for helping the future of manufacturing. So COVID-led supply chain disruption like semiconductor shortages to be resolved with AI-led interventions, and contactless Robo distribution is going to be accelerated. Now, I'll quickly summarize my couple of points in next 5 minutes. I'll mention about the AI application in defense, defense and military. So what the era of man-to-man fight to end, AI robotics warfare to start. As I said, the China has already started this game. So the world has to follow it. I mean, there's no alternative about that. I particularly believe that India need to deploy robots on borders for facing first bullet of enemies. You know, daily news we hear that our jawans and soldiers get died while performing some kind of duties on the border. So this can be also prevented by using robots over there. As per an estimation of 5-year research that the company which I run, India may need to deploy over 1 million robots at various international borders for enhancing country security and reducing troop casualties. So the AI and robotics-led warfare should be the next priority for this country. I personally don't want to promote AI in defense and military application, but you know, the situations are coming like that. The threats from neighboring countries are like that. That we have to also augment our drone and AI capability and robotics capability in defense sector. Now, well, we have spoken about the defense sector. One sector I want to highlight here is the education sector. So in last COVID lockdown, education sector suffered a lot. You know, the many students got totally disrupted in their education process. And though virtual education came up for rescue to some extent, but it's missed one-to-one coaching and guidances coming from the teachers. Many students did not pick up course content or desired level of learning these courses. Hence, there is a need for professionalized AI-based robo tutors for teaching many of the underprivileged students who do not get access to formal education and tutors. So a lot of personalized tool sets, AI-enabled tool sets, and need to be developed. You know, already the edutech sector is warm and it is growing very fast, and a lot of innovation is happening. But still, I believe that the most of the sector was focused on the remote access of the education. Now we need to focus on AI-enabled coaching and mentoring and tuition, right? And we need to develop more and more robot tutors. You know, they can supplement the physical teachers. You know, and to make the teaching very focused and personalized. Right now, it's for the masses, it's for the classes. But each student in a class, they have their different learning requirement and different grasping capability. You know, so that customization need to be done through AI. I'll briefly talk about works and collaboration through AI. So robotics avatars to grow and employees to becomes can transform their skill set to these robotics avatar, as I mentioned, through the Robo entrepreneur models. You know, so the collaboration right now, what we are collaborating through Zoom, this can be further augmented with AI help, and we need to evolve our future collaboration technology with the help of 5G and AR and VR and AI models to bring real-time interactive experience, you know, as if the persons are interacting in close to each other in what we generally feel in a conference room kind of format. Last, I will discuss about the very important sector, the pharma and drug discovery. So recently, the Google parent company Alphabet has set up a new lab, isomorphic labs, that will use AI to try to discover new drugs by using another Google company tools and technology is known as DeepMind. So drug discovery is going to be the key focus sector for AI. So in here, this Alphabet venture, the key focus is to reduce the cycle time of drug discovery by using artificial intelligence, big data, and analytics. We saw in the COVID vaccination discovery that a lot of AI tools were used. That is the reason we could shorten the vaccine development time cycle for the COVID. But still, yeah.
So sorry, you're overshooting the time.
Oh, sorry. So I just finished up. That was my last point. So with this, I will say that AI need to deliver on many sectors, and we can see the next decade is coming to be the AI decade. With that, I like to finish my talk. Thanks a lot, and sorry for taking some extra bit of time. Thank you, Arijit. Thank you, Marco. Thank you all attendees here. Any question you can ping me right now, or you can text me. My email ID is sumant_parimal@inaugurance.com. I'll type it here also.
Sure. Feel free to do that. Even though actually we have an ecosystem connection separate platform, so you can probably connect with others in our own core communication process. Not only over the email, you can actually coordinate with people online as well. Anyway, talking about the same, if we don't have a question, probably I'll ask Mr. Sumant to mute his microphone. We'll take the question later on after our next speaker is done. Please, Sumant, please stay with us. We will have the Q&A round after Daksh is done. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Dr. Daksh Agarwal. If you are there, could you please turn on your microphone and your camera?
Hi.
Daksh has got 8